In 1926, a California mailman named Rudolph has almost cut down a strange seedling growing in his yard. That single tree became the ancestor of nearly every avocado sold on the planet today. Centuries earlier, Aztec priests had already named this fruit after a body part, and Catholic clergy in colonial Mexico tried to ban unmarried women from eating it entirely. Somewhere between that ancient fear and your grocery store shelf, this fruit built cartel empires, drained entire rivers dry, and turned a generation of young adults into a national punchline. Number 12 hides a surgery statistic that will genuinely shock you. Tell me your avocado order below, because the truth behind this fruit gets darker with every single spot on this list. Number 20. A seed built for giants that no longer exist. 10,000 years ago, the wild ancestor of the avocado grew across Central America with a seed far too large for any small animal to swallow. Scientists studying this mystery landed on a striking theory. The fruit evolved to be eaten whole by giant ground sloths and ancient elephant relatives, animals that could swallow the seed and carry it for miles before depositing it elsewhere. When those giant mammals went extinct, the avocado nearly went extinct too. Only human cultivation saved it, a fruit nature had built for a world already gone. Number 19. The Aztec fruit named after the body. The Aztecs called this fruit avocados in their Nahuatl language, a word that also meant testicle. This wasn't an accident. Aztec culture strongly associated the fruit with fertility and male vitality, and it was harvested specifically during certain seasonal festivals tied to those beliefs. Spanish colonizers later softened the word into aguacate, but the original meaning never fully disappeared from Mesoamerican memory. Number 18. The fruit the church tried to ban. Catholic priests arriving in colonial Mexico grew deeply uneasy about the avocado's reputation as an aphrodisiac. Some clergy actively discouraged unmarried women from eating it, worried it might stir feelings the church considered improper. Convents reportedly restricted it from nuns' meals entirely. A fruit could not be arrested, but for nearly 300 years, it carried a reputation dangerous enough that eating one in the wrong company could invite gossip or worse. Number 17. The alligator pear problem. When avocados first reached American markets in the early 20th century, nobody wanted to buy something called an alligator pear, a nickname based on its bumpy green skin. Grocers struggled to sell a fruit that sounded like a reptile and tasted like nothing shoppers recognized. Sales stayed flat for decades. The fruit needed more than flavor. It needed a completely new identity. Number 16. The rebrand that saved an industry. California growers founded an association in 1915 specifically to fix this image problem, and by 1927, they had formally adopted the name avocado for marketing purposes nationwide. This wasn't a small tweak. It was a coordinated industry campaign, treating a fruit's name like a product launch. Sales slowly began climbing once shoppers stopped picturing a swamp reptile every time they walked past the produce aisle. Here is where the story turned strange. One backyard tree in California was about to make almost every other avocado variety in America disappear. Number 15. Rudolph Hass and the tree he almost destroyed. Mailman Rudolph Hass bought avocado seedlings in the 1920s, hoping to grow a specific popular variety at the time. One seedling refused to graft properly, and Hass planned to remove it. His children convinced him to leave it standing. That tree eventually produced a small, dark, bumpy-skinned fruit with a richer flavor and a far longer shelf life than anything else on the market. Hass patented the variety in 1935. Today, well over 90% of avocados consumed worldwide descend from cuttings of that single original tree. Number 14. The fat scare that almost killed demand. During the low-fat diet obsession of the 1980s and 1990s, avocados suffered badly. Nutrition guidance at the time treated all fat as dangerous, and a fruit built almost entirely from healthy fat looked like the enemy on paper. Sales stagnated for nearly 2 decades while the industry fought a public relations battle against its own most defining ingredient. Number 13. The health food reversal. Everything changed once nutritional science began distinguishing between harmful fats and beneficial monounsaturated fats found naturally in foods like olive oil and avocado. By the early 2000s, the same fruit once feared for its fat content was being marketed as a superfood. Demand exploded. A fruit that spent decades apologizing apologizing for its ingredients suddenly became the ingredient every health blogger wanted on their plate. Number 12. The injury nobody saw coming. As home avocado consumption skyrocketed, emergency rooms across the country began reporting a surge in a very specific injury nicknamed avocado hand, caused by knives slipping while people tried to remove the pit. Some hospitals reported hundreds of these cases annually, serious enough that several began requiring specialized surgery for tendon damage. A fruit had become popular enough to generate its own recurring surgical category. Number 11. The toast that divided a generation. A newspaper columnist suggested in 2017 that young adults could afford homes if they simply stopped buying avocado toast at cafes. The comment ignited global outrage, comment wars, and countless response videos calculating exactly how many decades of toast it would take to equal a house down payment. The avocado, without asking for it, became a symbol in a generational argument about wages, housing prices, and blame. Pattern break, because the story turns from funny to serious fast. Behind every avocado shipped internationally sits a resource fight most shoppers never think about. Each avocado requires roughly 70 liters of water to grow, and in regions already struggling with drought, that number becomes a genuine crisis rather than a trivia fact. Number 10. The river that disappeared in Chile. Avocado plantations in Petorca, Chile expanded aggressively to meet international demand, drawing so heavily from local water sources that residents in nearby communities reported wells running completely dry. Trucks began delivering drinking water to households that once had running taps. Meanwhile, nearby plantations stayed green through irrigation systems, feeding an export crop. The imbalance became a national controversy inside Chile itself. Number 9. Blood avocados and cartel territory. Michoacán, Mexico produces the vast majority of avocados exported to the United States, and there, criminal organizations have extorted growers, controlled distribution routes, and in some documented cases fought violent territorial battles specifically over avocado profits. Journalists began using the term blood avocados, echoing the language once used for conflict diamonds. Some communities formed armed self-defense groups purely to protect their orchards from extortion. Number 8. The forests cut down for green gold. Rising international demand pushed some growers in Mexico to illegally clear pine forest to plant new avocado orchards, since the crop had become so much more profitable than traditional farming. Environmental researchers have linked this deforestation to reduced habitat for monarch butterfly migration routes that pass directly through the same region. A fruit associated with wellness was quietly connected to real ecological damage thousands of miles from where it was eaten. Number 7. The ban that lasted 70 years. American import restrictions kept most Mexican avocados out of the United States from 1914 until 1997, originally justified by concerns over a specific fruit weevil pest. For most of the 20th century, this meant California essentially had a domestic monopoly. When the ban finally lifted, Mexican imports flooded the market, transforming avocado availability and price almost overnight. Number 6. The Super Bowl effect. Guacamole demand spikes so dramatically around the Super Bowl that the avocado industry treats it as its single biggest sales event of the entire year, with estimates suggesting Americans consume well over 100 million pounds of avocados during that single week alone. Grocery chains plan shipment logistics around this one football weekend the way toy stores plan around December. Number 5. The counterfeit oil scandal. As avocado oil grew popular as a premium health product, independent lab testing later revealed that a significant portion of bottles labeled pure avocado oil on store shelves were diluted or mislabeled, sometimes containing mostly cheaper oils instead. An industry built on a health reputation found itself facing the exact kind of fraud that had plagued olive oil years earlier. Number 4. The skincare takeover. Cosmetic companies began marketing avocado oil and extract as a core ingredient in moisturizers, hair treatments, and anti-aging products, capitalizing on the same fat content once feared by dieters. The fruit that spent decades fighting a bad reputation was suddenly being rubbed onto faces in expensive jars with premium price tags attached. Number 3. The price volatility problem. Because production concentrates so heavily in a small handful of regions, avocado prices swing wildly based on weather events, cartel disruptions, and export politics. A drought or a violent incident in a single Mexican state can shift avocado prices at grocery stores worldwide within weeks, something almost no other common fruit experiences at this scale. Number 2. The climate threat nobody is ready for. Research Researchers studying long-term climate patterns warn that rising temperatures and shifting rainfall could make traditional avocado growing regions increasingly unsuitable within decades, threatening an industry that took a century to build global demand for a fruit that almost nobody wanted 100 years ago. Number 1. The fruit that refuses to stay simple. From a seed built for extinct giants, to a name tied to fertility, to a church ban, to a mailman's backyard accident, to cartel warfare and drought crisis, the avocado has never once been just food. Every bite carries an entire hidden history most people slice straight through without a second thought. Every controversy on this list traces back to the same simple truth. A fruit nobody wanted a century ago became something the entire world now fights over, floods water systems for, and builds criminal empires around. That tension between comfort food and hidden cost isn't unique to avocados. It's hiding inside almost everything on your plate right now. Which everyday food do you think has a history just as dark as this one? Comment that food below, and check the video appearing on your screen right now, because it exposes the fruit with a history even more disturbing than this one.